What is happening, guys? It is me again, the Bladed Brony, coming at you with a re-review of the Coldsteel AK47 tactical folding knife. After my last review of this knife, I saw a lot of hate, and I think the reason I got so much hate in that video wasn't because I don't like the knife. It's more because I brought in my personal problems with Coldsteel. You know, I was talking about that more instead of I was talking about the blade itself. And I also got complaints that I yell too much. Now, there is a reason I do that, like a reason I talk louder for camera. I got kind of a low voice, guys, so I gotta talk louder so you can clearly understand what I'm saying. But what I'm going to try to do for this video is try not to cuss as much. I'm still going to talk loud, but I'm not going to try and yell that much. And also, I'm not going to bring in my personal problems with Coldsteel. You know, I'm not going to talk about my problems with the company. I'm just going to talk about the knife, which, as you can see, I finally got the pocket clip for. So, thank you, Coldsteel. It took you a while, but you know, thank you for finally getting it to me. Now, I'm not going to, you know, completely change my mind on the knife. You know, I still have problems with it. You know, I still got things that bug me about it, things I like about it, things I don't like about it. And, well, I found out my problem with the review was I was talking more about my personal problems with the knife instead of what would be more universal for it. So, I'm going to try and look at this more from, you know, other consumer standpoints. You know, other things consumers might like about it, consumers might not like about it. I'm still going to bring up some of my problems with the knife, but that's not going to be the only thing I'm going to focus on. So, here we go with the re-review. You know, it's still a G10 handle. You know, nothing's changed there. As you can tell, I have modified it a little bit more. I was able to take the coating off the aluminum pommel here, which wasn't like taking the, you know, the Teflon coating off of the blade, which was very easy to take off, which is a problem I still have with the knife. You know, much like this, the Recon, the Recon 1, the AK47, and the American Lawman all seem to have this problem. I think there might be others with the problem, but it's that the Teflon coating is very easily scratched off, which is why I just took it all off to give the knife this, you know, beautiful stonewash handle, you know, well, beautiful stonewash blade design, basically. I also took it off. I also took the black coating off the screws and off of the, let's see, what is it called? The triad lock. How'd I forget that? And this little pin right here. And I'm debating on whether I want to take it off the screws here or not. I might not. It just depends. You know, I'm not done, you know, modifying it yet. I'm still going to have some more work done on it. But, you know, it's going to take me a little more time. As you can see, I got my little lanyard on it. You know, 550 cord, which is easily, you know, put through the pommel right here. I got a couple of nuts on there and a skull with black paracord. I took the coating, well, most of the coating off the pocket clip. I kind of like keeping the black Coldsteel logo right there, you know, blackened. And you can see it does take a little flick of the wrist to, you know, pop it open with the thumb disc, which the thumb disc I do like. And most people's problem with the thumb disc on this knife is that the G10 handle here is very, very rough, and it very easily rips up the pockets, as you can see from right there. So what I did was I sanded it down just a little bit. You might be able to catch it on camera. Sanded it down just a little bit, made it a little more smooth, and, well, from the looks of it, I can now pull it out easier. I do like that. You know, it's got a lot of belly. This is about, let's see how thick this blade is. I don't remember exactly. About 1 1/4 inch, you know, thick. As you can see, it's got the little the AK47 logo, and the Coldsteel logo is still on there because I actually used a razor to take all this off instead of sandpaper. I had to use sandpaper on this, but this was a different kind of coating on the aluminum and the screws. One of my main problems that I still have with the knife is the jimping. No offense, guys, I'm not gonna lie about it. The jimping is about useless. I mean, I don't see that stopping anything. And that's mainly because the lock bar is very high up where the jimping is, so it makes it a little bit useless. I mean, the knife, it does kind of, you know, fit into your hand very easily. But I still do prefer the jimping on there. You still have the curved pommel right here, which I do like a lot. Once again, it does give me multiple grips on there. As you can see, the lock bar comes up very high, and that's a problem I've seen, you know, some consumers complain about, is that once the triad lock is engaged, it does take, you know, a little bit more force to put it back down. And I've even heard some women say that they can't even do it. So, yeah, that's kind of a problem, but if it was easier to come down, like if the spring, you know, in the handle was a little more high up, the strength of the knife would not be the same. Because as much as I do, you know, get mad at Coldsteel, I will give them props. The triad lock is very, very, very strong. Actually, there's a little bit of blade play in there, just a little bit. The blade length is about 3.5 inches on about a 9-inch knife, and I know a lot of people get mad about that. But once again, if the blade was any longer, you can see right there, it would not really come out. So that's just kind of a design choice right there. Like I said, it does, you know, fit very well in the hand. The pocket clip is a little bit painful because most people, they both have the same problem with the pocket clip that I do. And this is on almost all Coldsteel knives that I've heard. Is that with how tight it is very, you know, hard to get out of your pocket. And that can be credited on multiple Coldsteel knives, such as when I used to have my Tyolite. Same exact problem. And, you know, actually I really don't see any excuse for that. So Coldsteel, you know, maybe in your 2015, you know, model of this, hopefully you fix that up. I don't know. I don't have the 2015 model, which I will go into in a second. I still think the knife is overpriced, but I'm going to be looking at sales price this time instead of retail sales, which, you know, another guy got pissed off about that. You know, saying, oh, he's only looking at, you know, the retail price. That's what I said I was looking at, but I'll go at sale price only. The sales price is, on this particular model, the large, is $105.99. Of course, you can get this knife on Amazon for about $50. Seems like a reasonable price. Because my main problem with that pricing, you know, was the $105. Is while this is a strong knife, the materials, you know, they use really isn't worth that kind of money. It's just G10 and AUS 8 blade, you know, steel, which is a good steel, you know, which is easy to sharpen, but it's kind of a softer steel, which means the blade, you know, will get duller quickly, and it can actually bend, which will, you know, be kind of a pain in the ass to fix. I mean, I'm sure Coldsteel would fix it for you. I don't know. I've never actually sent a knife in to get fixed by them. And of all the modifications, I'm pretty sure they would not accept this one back, which I don't plan on, you know, sending it back. Because like I said, I plan on having more modifications done to this blade. Like, you know, what I'm going to do on this is I might go the easy route and get some grip tape, you know, for a skateboard. You know, put it right there, which is something I learned off X-Acto. So X-Acto, there's your little shout out again, buddy. Or what I might actually do, if I can find someone who can do it, is actually saw a little bit into it. Is actually saw, you know, saw into the lock bar itself, you know, a little bit, and make some jimping, which I think would be a lot better idea, but a little more expensive, a little bit harder to do. Let's see. Let me get the new model out, because like I said, the price is $105.99. We got the 2015 catalog here, which is a new model, and we'll see what the price is on here. Which, keep in mind, there's not really much change about the knife except for the steel. So instead of being made with, let's see, what's the steel? Japanese AUS 8A stainless with black Tough X coating, not Teflon. Actually, I'm not sure if they're different or not. I don't know. And the new model is made with, let's see, Carpenter CTS XHP alloy with DLC coating. Now, I'm not a knife expert, so, you know, I'm not a steel expert, so I don't really know about that one. It might be the greatest, you know, steel on earth. I don't know. And the new one is going for, at resale price, $139.99. So a little more expensive, but a little more better material. Alright. Makes sense. Once again, I don't know, you know, that much about the steel. So maybe it's not really a fair price. Maybe it's a perfect price. Maybe it's overpriced. I don't know. Like I said, not a steel expert. Let's see, you know, of course, they still got the mini AK47, which might be a better choice for certain people. Because one complaint I had about this knife, which I still do have, is it's a little bit on the larger side. Which, don't get me wrong, I have no problem carrying a large blade. As you can tell by my profile picture, my favorite knife I do currently own is my CRKT M16 14 ZSF military, which, as you can tell, is a large knife. You know, it is on the same par with this one, but you can probably see one little difference is how much thicker the AK47 is in width. That's my only problem with the size, guys, is the width. You know, if you're wearing like cargo pants, not really a problem. If you wear, you know, jeans, you know, once again, it's not really, you know, comfortable, because, like I said, I have no problem carrying a big blade, but I really like to keep the width, you know, the width down, you know. So if you're wearing jeans or cargo shorts, you know, really shouldn't be a problem. But if you have to wear, you know, stuff like slacks, I really don't suggest the large. I would suggest the mini AK if you really want the AK47 series. The mini AK might be better for slacks. Namely because, you know, not a lot of people are carrying a very large blade in slacks. Of course, if you ask me, the knife made for slacks from Coldsteel would be the, where is it? The Code 4 series. I really like the Code 4 series myself, which is probably going to be the next knife I'm going to buy from Coldsteel. Still has a triad, but it doesn't have the wave feature. Well, alright, you gotta make a sacrifice somewhere. So, like I said, you know, if you do like these knives, you know, go ahead, buy it all you want. Like I said, I do have my problems with the knife, but, you know, those are just personal problems. As a consumer, you know, going off the, you know, other consumers' ideas, this may be the great knife for you. If you're like a farmhand, it is a good knife, you know, because it is, like I said, very, very strong. Decent sized blade. Like I said, very strong. Yeah, I just said that. What am I doing? And like I said, I'm probably gonna do some more modifications on this knife before I really consider it done. Like I said, I'm gonna put the jimping there. One that some people are not gonna like the idea of is I'm gonna send this out to John Fitzen, and have him fully serrate this blade and put a back cut right here. I know some people are like, oh, you're going to ruin the knife. Well, guys, this really isn't a work knife. You know, I really don't like full serrations on work knives. You know, I have no problem with that, like, you know, that kind of serrations on work knives, you know, just a little bit of them. But this is a tactical folder, okay? This is all it is. And I like what a lot of people like to say. Serrations are very, very useful in a tactical folding knife. Because it doesn't just slice like this does, which is still a big slice. But with the right kind of serrations, this knife is not just going to slice, it is going to just rip and slice like a chainsaw, really. Like the VEF serrations from CRKT. John Fitson serrations, they seem to be a perfect idea for this kind of knife. So I'm going to, you know, have the serrations, I'm going to have the back cut, I'm going to have my jimping, and I'm debating on whether drilling a couple of holes through here. I don't really know if I want to really go that far. I'm going to buy a different lanyard for this, something a little bit bigger. Well, a different lanyard bead, really. And then I think, you know, this knife will be done. Also, I'm going to probably, you know, order some more screws and put them on this side. I know it doesn't come like that, but I really prefer to have the screws over here. Yeah, it's just me. So, guys, that's my re-review of the Coldsteel AK47 from a consumer standpoint. Like I said, I have my personal problems with it, but, like I said, that's just my personal opinion. So, if you want the knife, buy it. If you don't want the knife, don't buy it. If you're debating on whether to buy the knife, do what I did. Try and find a shop that actually sells this knife, like, you know, a gun shop usually does. Ask them if you can handle the blade, because most of them will let you handle them. Get a feel for it. You know, ask them permission before you do this. You know, test it in the pocket. See if you like it. So, guys, this has been the Bladed Brony with a re-review of the Coldsteel AK47, and I am signing out. Have a good day, and God bless. Bye.